Imagine a world before the scientific method, before logic. The sky could strike without warning. The ground could open beneath your feet. Death arrived with no explanation. Early humans possessed the same brain capacity we have today, but they lived without a framework to process why a rogue wave or sudden drought occurred. To a highly intelligent mind, the randomness of nature was a constant threat. They could document and hunt tangible threats, like the predators shown in these cave paintings, but they had no mental defense against the invisible forces that dictated their survival. The human mind cannot function in a vacuum of reason. Living in a state of unpredictable terror is mentally unsustainable. The brain requires a cause for every effect it witnesses. To carry the weight of their reality, our ancestors began to build a new way of seeing the world. They started to create a system that could finally offer them an answer. When a storm destroys a village, it's very difficult to accept the event as a blind, random accident. To an ancient mind, a catastrophe of that scale felt like a deliberate choice. The first solution was personification. By assigning a human-like identity to a force of nature, the brain changes how it processes the danger. If you give an unpredictable element a name and a face, you create a sense of order. The threat moves from the realm of chaos into the realm of intention. The energy of a lightning strike became the weapon of Zeus. Humans visualized raw natural discharge as a deliberate action. The acoustics of thunder were similarly rationalized as the movements of Thor. By giving the sound a source, the noise in the clouds became a story people could understand. Giving nature a face did not stop the storms, but it transformed an irrational dread into a fear of a specific entity, and a specific entity is something humans can attempt to manage. Once the forces of nature had faces, humanity faced a second crisis: helplessness in the face of famine, the spread of disease, and sudden, violent disaster. If natural forces possess the same egos and desires as people, they stop being unstoppable. They become entities that can be negotiated with. By offering prayer and sacrifice, humans developed a bargaining tool to influence the world. This transactional loop applied to every variable of survival: crop yields, weather patterns, and battle outcomes. If gods wanted something from humans, humans could want something in return. These rituals provided an essential sense of agency. Having a prescribed action to take prevented people from surrendering to despair, allowing them to continue building and moving forward. There was one final unknown that remained: the mystery of mortality, the total absence of information regarding what happens after life. To address this, early humans used narrative to map out the afterlife. They transformed the silence of death into a structured geography filled with rules and rulers, as seen in this intricate stone carving. By projecting human traits like jealousy and pride onto the rulers of the underworld, the experience of death became familiar. It was no longer a void, but a destination. By authoring these intricate rules for the afterlife, humanity built a conceptual wall. It successfully contained their greatest existential fear within a story they controlled. These ancient pantheons were more than just stories. They functioned as a protective psychological shield built by our ancestors. Without this framework to bring meaning to suffering, early human consciousness would have struggled to survive the harsh reality of its environment. While we now use the scientific method rather than mythology to explain the world, the motivation remains the same. We are still trying to fill the same gaps in our understanding. The ancient priest looking at the sky and the modern astrophysicist looking through a telescope are both driven by the need to pull the unknown into the light of reason. From the first invented gods to our latest explorations in deep space, we continue to look for ways to translate the mysteries of the universe into something we can finally understand.